Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a high-level strategic briefing on what is, quite honestly, the absolute backbone of modern enterprise architecture, SAP SD and MM integration. Look, if you want to understand how top-tier businesses physically and financially move products all the way from procurement to customer delivery without skipping a single beat, well, you're exactly in the right place. So let's start with the hard truth. In today's hyper-competitive digital landscape, can your enterprise actually afford silos between procurement and sales? And that's not just a rhetorical question. It's literally a matter of survival. Think about it. If your procurement team is buying materials without perfectly synchronizing with what your sales team is promising out there to customers, you are bleeding efficiency. Disconnected departments create silos, and we all know silos create delays, stockouts, and massive financial blind spots. Okay, let's quickly define the two massive engines we're talking about today. On one side, you've got SAP SD, or Sales and Distribution. This handles your entire order-to-cash cycle, so everything from taking that initial customer order to finally getting cash in the bank. On the flip side, there's SAP MM, Materials Management. This governs your procure-to-pay cycle, dictating how you acquire, store, and actually pay for your inventory. When you get these two massive systems talking to each other flawlessly, it's not just good IT, it's practically magic. Here's our playbook for this explainer. We'll start by breaking down those enterprise silos. Then we'll map out the core integration touchpoints. After that, we'll walk through some real-world business scenarios, navigate the usual integration challenges, and finally, get to what really matters, delivering true business value. All right, let's jump right into Section 1, breaking down enterprise silos and why this integration is an absolute must-have. Tearing down those departmental walls yields massive, and I mean immediate benefits. Disconnected supply chains can literally cost companies millions in lost sales. But integration, it solves this completely. You get real-time inventory reflection. So when material movements happen over an MM, your SD stock availability updates instantly. That means your sales team never, ever promises vaporware. You also gain complete financial transparency. When SD generates a billing document, boom, it posts directly into your financial accounting and updates your MM valuation seamlessly. Add in perfect process continuity that practically eliminates manual intervention, and all of this culminates in a huge boost to customer satisfaction. Accurate availability checks and lightning-fast billing fundamentally transform your service levels. Moving right along to Section 2, core integration touchpoints. Let's look at how the data actually flows in real time. Let's track a transaction as it happens. The second a sales order is created, it instantly triggers an availability check against the actual physical stock sitting in materials management. Then, as the delivery happens, the system updates the inventory status. Now, the magic really happens at the moment of goods issue, when that product physically leaves your warehouse. The system automatically reduces the stock in MM, and, this is crucial, it simultaneously posts the cost of goods sold right into your financials. Finally, billing generates the invoice and posts the revenue. So a single sales action triggers this flawless, entirely automated financial chain reaction. Let's bring this out of theory and into reality in Section 3, real-world business scenarios. We'll start with standard execution. For standard sales execution, we're talking your classic VA01 to VL01N to VF01 flow. Here is the business reality. You create the sales order, which leads seamlessly into executing the outbound delivery, and that ultimately culminates in generating the billing document. By strictly locking these steps together, the system absolutely guarantees that your cost of goods sold and your revenue postings are perfectly aligned. There's no guessing here. It's highly controlled precision execution. But hey, we all know businesses are rarely just standard, right? The true power here is how this integration flexes to handle highly specialized, complex workflows. Take third-party sales, for instance. A customer orders from you, but you actually have a vendor ship it directly to them. This SDMM integration automatically creates a purchase requisition, flips it into a purchase order, manages the invoice receipt, and handles the customer billing. Or consider intercompany sales, where the system elegantly manages dual billing across completely different company codes. It also flawlessly handles the returns process, managing return deliveries, goods receipts, credit memos, and the entire consignment cycle, all the way from fill-up to pickup. Now, putting on my consultant hat for just a minute, these beautiful, seamless business scenarios, they don't just happen by magic. They require absolutely flawless back-end configuration. So let's peek under the hood at what actually makes this engine run. Here is how we build that solid foundation. First, you need perfect organizational alignment and material master consistency
across both your SD and MM views. Then, you've got your OVZ9 availability check rules, which are there to guarantee your sales team is seeing dead accurate data. But the absolute holy grail here, and pardon the classic consultant alphabet soup for a second, is the OBYC and VKOA account determination. This is the critical mapping that ties physical inventory movements directly to your revenue accounts and finance. Throw in automated batch determination for any materials that need lot tracking, and your engine is totally ready to run.
Which brings us to Section 4, navigating integration challenges, and more importantly, how we conquer those common roadblocks. Let's be honest, implementations often hit crippling roadblocks. We're talking missing organizational assignments, massive ERL, WRX, or BSX account determination errors, and inconsistent stock billing synchronization. These kinds of errors will stop a business dead in its tracks. But the solution, which is championed by specialists like Rasta Infotech, is rigorous end-to-end testing. They trace a single transaction from the very first availability check all the way down to the final accounting entry. They focus heavily on master data completeness to ensure that these exact errors never, ever see the light of day in a live production environment. And that brings us to our final section, delivering true business value. Let's talk about the ultimate executive payoff. So why do CEOs and CFOs actually care about technical acronyms and configuration mappings? Well, because the executive payoff is huge. A flawless SD MM integration drastically reduces the reconciliation effort between materials management, sales, and finance. Because all that data is perfectly accurate in real time, it leads to vastly faster month-end closings. It unlocks improved profitability analysis through COPA, giving executives true, clear visibility into their margins, and ultimately ensuring reliable, error-free order fulfillment builds deeply enhanced customer trust. Firms like Rasta Infotech specialize in this exact integration because it fundamentally accelerates digital transformation and operational excellence across the board. To summarize everything we've unpacked today, SAP SD MM integration is not just configuration, it's the nervous system of enterprise flow. Think of it as a living, breathing network that connects the physical movement of your goods directly with the financial heartbeat of your company. I want to leave you with this final thought. Take a hard look at your own organization's architecture right now. Are your procurement and sales departments truly communicating in real time, or are they still operating in the dark in their own silos? Is your enterprise's nervous system functioning properly to unlock operational excellence, or is it holding you back? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I hope this provided you with clear, actionable insights into optimizing your enterprise flow.